and welcome back to Two Therapists Walk Into a Podcast. I'm Robin Green, a licensed clinical social worker in Tucson, Arizona.
And I'm Stephanie Edsel, also a licensed clinical social worker coming to you from Salt Lake City, Utah.
And today, we are officially kicking off Series 9, which we are calling A Year in the Room. This whole series is the greatest hits, essentially. Kind of a look back at the conversations, maybe some themes, and moments that have shaped this podcast over the past year. I can't believe that. We've shown up every week for a year together.
We sure have.
That's a nice commitment.
I agree. And we wanted to take a breath, look back, and of course, bring you along.
And as always, let's arrive together. However you found us today, whether you're driving, resting, folding laundry, or just existing, you are welcome here exactly as you are. In whatever body, whatever space you're in right now, you are welcome. And take a moment to know that you don't need to do anything differently. Just notice that you're here. Maybe there's a small sense of settling somewhere, a softening, a release. Or maybe not, and that's okay too. We're just pausing before we begin. If it feels okay, let your attention rest somewhere that feels most settled to you right now. Not to really fix anything, just to notice. And when you're ready, we'll begin. So, a year. Series 9, episode 45. Let's talk about where this all started.
Let's, please, because, plot twist. This did not start with a business plan.
Nope, it really did not. It started with so many conversations and the kind we were already always having about how hard it is for people to find support that actually fits them, about how some of the information out there is either way too clinical or too watered down. When we kind of just kept wishing help was more accessible, more human, more relatable, because we can be messy.
We can. And eventually someone said, and by someone we're talking about each other, why not a podcast? And the other one said, why aren't we doing it already?
And then there was that, oh shit, we are doing this.
Yep.
That moment. And then we were.
Yeah, series.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just was so excited because series 1, episode 1, how long ago now? Two Therapists Walk Into a Podcast. Here's why. Was us drawing a line in the sand. Here's who we are. Here's what we believe, and here's why this matters.
And it's so interesting that when we look back at the popularity of our episodes, or like when I'm looking at the stats, our pilot episode is still our most downloaded episode, which I think says something. People were looking for exactly this. Oh, and just looking at those show notes, they still hold up with everything that we probably still believe and would share.
They really do. Also, I appreciate people sticking through some of my very clunky technical equipment. That's
Oh
been
my
very
goodness.
kind. The homegrown organic.
It's
Oh,
been very homegrown. That's the
yeah.
one descriptor I would use when I share about our podcast.
Yeah.
We're really clunky in the beginning, and we know it, y'all. We know it. I'm
just gonna.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm not. I was just gonna say I'm owning it.
You are. You are the yin to my
The
yang.
yang.
The yin to my yang. You are. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so here we sit at like 2,600 downloads. And then looking back, I remember when we were like, oh my goodness, 500 downloads. And then 1,000, then 2,000. And I think like every milestone felt like proof that this was worth doing. This is, some people ask like, how much do y'all get paid? And we don't. This is our passion. This is our passion project. Honestly, this is our hobby. And we are so grateful for everyone who has listened, reviewed, shared, and reached out. You are really, honestly, the reason we keep showing up.
Okay, here it is, our famous nervous system nugget time. And this one feels really fitting for an anniversary episode because we're talking about integration, which is something our nervous systems actually do and something we don't give enough credit to. When we look back, when we reflect on what we've been through, what we've learned, what's changed, we're not just being nostalgic. We're actually doing something neurologically meaningful. Reflection activates the prefrontal cortex and supports what's called memory consolidation. We're literally weaving experience into who we are. This matters because so many of us are conditioned to just keep moving, keep going, don't look back. I probably said this 2 or 3 times this week. We pretend to enjoy staying busy. But the nervous system needs time to integrate. It does need the looking back.
So lovely put. And exactly. Integration is not passive. It's how we make meaning out of experience. It's really how growth actually sticks. And I say this a lot in my practice, like there has to be some sort of meaning making in order to continue that healing. And it can be so small, the meaning making, just knowing that you can create meaning from new experiences. And that's how growth actually sticks. That's kind of what this whole series is. It's an intentional act of integration for us and hopefully for you too.
I like that. Actually, I love that. It reframes looking back as something your nervous system is actually asking for, not something that you have to earn or even justify.
Yes, you are allowed to pause and take stock and know that really that's not indulgent. That's regulation.
It is. I really just want to repeat that for the people in the back because I feel like I have grown up around folks that said, be humble, right? You don't have time to take pride in some of these things. In fact, pride in certain spaces is considered a bad thing. So, no, it is not. It is regulation. So, our coping skill today fits right into that. It's called growth inventory, and it's simple, which we love.
You can do this anywhere, in any position, with or without writing anything down. All you need is a few minutes and a willingness to look back gently.
Think about the past year or whatever window of time feels right for you. And ask yourself 3 things. First, what did I carry that I didn't have to carry alone?
Second, what surprised me about myself?
And third, what do I want to bring with me into what's next?
And that's it. You don't have to have answers right away. You can just let the questions sit with you in your commute, your evening, wherever you are. The nervous system does a lot of its best work when we just give it a question and get out of the way.
If writing helps you think, please grab a journal. If it doesn't, don't, please. There is no right or wrong way to do this.
That's right. I love that. I love that you said that. There is no right or wrong way. Before we close, I want to say something about what this year has done to us as therapists, as people.
Because it actually really has changed us.
I think so. It really has. For me, I can refer clients to episodes now. Something comes up in a session, and I think when we talked about this, the podcast has become part of the work in a way I really didn't expect, honestly, and it goes both ways, and what I see in the room informs what we make, and what we make feeds back into the room, and so it becomes a loop I didn't really know I needed.
I like that. I was going to kind of dovetail off that. What it's done for me is that body language. I often mention rhythm, repetition, routine.
For sure.
It's things I look forward to, even though we do these sometimes in blocks, so it's not weekly for us. When we are going through it, it kind of defines a lot for me for the week, even just foundationally. So
this is so true.
Yeah, it gives me things to reflect on and things to look forward to. Like with my clients, I'm like, oh, I can't wait for you to. Oh man. So anyway, okay, nail biter.
Yeah, right, for sure.
You're gonna learn, and you're gonna hear, and you're gonna practice, and it's gonna feel authentic.
Another thing I just thought about too, it's been a sense of accountability too for the both of us, for each other, and us finding our own rhythm with one another and with the show and all of that too. So it's made us be accountable to each other, and I think it's strengthened our relationship too.
I'd agree. All day. I like that.
All day to the moon. And it's reminded me that community is not separate from healing. It is the healing. Being witnessed, being part of something that's, not a nice to have. That's the thing. And we're grateful for the community we have built here. Our reflection question for you this week: what is one thing from the past year that you want to make sure you don't forget? It doesn't have to be a task or an achievement. Maybe it's something you learned about yourself or even someone else, or what you need.
Please sit with that. Don't rush. If you want to share with us, we would love to hear from you. Remember, we are always listening.
Thank you for being in the room with us for a year, and for being here for this one. We'll see you next week.
And remember, healing isn't linear, and we're here for the ride. This podcast is for educational purposes only, and it is not a substitute for therapy, medical care, or professional advice.
Listening to this podcast or this episode does not create a therapeutic, clinical, or professional relationship with us.
If you're experiencing distress, physical symptoms, or emotional concerns that feel overwhelming, we both encourage you to seek support from a qualified healthcare or mental health professional.
And if you are in immediate danger or need urgent support, please contact local emergency services or a crisis line in your area.